Hello everybody. In this video we're going to continue working on a login example, and what I want to do is just want to add a couple of things that we are missing. Some kind of error message when something gets bad, right? Just put it there somewhere. And I would like also to do the form validation. That's something really important. We are not validating anything here, so we need to start learning that kind of things too. So let's get started. So for the first thing, what we need to do, we actually create a new form, a new component. Let's call this one alert with view. I was looking at Daisy UI and I saw this one. I believe this is pretty much what we need. So let me just copy this over here. I do a template, paste it. Let me remove those extra lines about the comments. Wow, there's a lot. There you go. And if we actually go to the application.view, there you go. Let's call here, I don't know, the alert. Maybe we can use it like that. Yeah, it works. Perfect. So let's keep the alert right there. Or let's actually put it on the navbar. Let me see. We have the navbar right here. Before everything, oops, we can actually put the alert. Yeah, I like it. Let's keep it like that. But for that, let's create some helper function. That helper function will be in order to see if we need to load it or not, and about the message that need to happen here. So let's create a helper function. Let's call this one use error. Let's import reference from view. And we do export cons is error. Let's call it like that. And it's going to be equal or reference of false for now by default. And export cons message. Let's call it like this. There's going to be a reference. And for now, let's actually put there was an error. Let's have like a default message in there. And that should be enough, I believe. Okay. So for the alert, let's create the script tag. Set up. And we import from, let's actually use, actually it's going to be the source. Yes, this will go back, helpers, use error. And let's import the message. And with that, we just actually change this thing to be our message. And didn't like it. What's happening here? Let's see. Oh, there you go. We just started. There was an error. Yeah, perfect. So error message is there. Now we need to dynamically put it there whenever we need it or not. So for that, we need to go back to our navbar because the one who actually uses the alert. Let's import or helpers. Oops. Use error, and we're going to import is error. Right? And just with that, we can use a simple if equal is error. There you go. So that means only when this one is true, it should show, in theory. When this one is false, it should not be there. I don't like that it's actually not doing the way it's supposed to. So let's actually test it. And let's create a new, let's go to the form. Let's put, so in this form, what we're doing here, let's import now, and let me minimize this to have a better view. Import now, or is error and message from all helpers. That's error, and let's create a simple button. Hi. Now let's just put it these classes right there. Let's call it trigger error. And we can set to this button whenever we click it. Is error going to equal to true? Okay. There you go. We triggered the error. Perfect. So let's restart this. Because I'm sending the error to true, when something is going to fail, we are going to have that message on the top. Pretty neat, right? Okay, so let's delete now that button because this was just for testing purposes. What we need to do here is we need to verify this one. So whenever we catch something, you actually print it to the console. So that means when we are registering, we're logging, and we do the Google authentication. So what we need to do pretty much is error.value equal true. And let's call it message.value equal there was an authentication error, right? So let's rephrase this. If I go with something that doesn't exist, try to log in theory, you should be able to catch it. Oh, I just put it in the register. Let me just copy this over and let's put it again here in the login, and let's put it again. Probably we can create a function to do that, but let's put it here. Perfect. So this doesn't exist, so when I try to go, there was an authentication error. Perfect. So the only thing that I need to do is when I actually able to log in, we need to clear the error out. How we clear the error out is going to be really simple. So before we actually push it, that means that the error is going to be false. Before we go to the page, false, we're missing one. This one right here. Okay, so let me refresh. I'm as you can see, I didn't do my authentication piece because that's actually saved some kind of cookie session with Google. So let's actually log out. Let's go to login. So let's put something that doesn't exist. There was an authentication error. Perfect. After we do something that does exist, that error get deleted. Cool. So we just handling error message a little bit better, and I like that. So now let's actually do the next step, and the next step is going to be, and let me log out again, to validate the inputs. And probably for the sign out we need to put like a repeat passwords thing, right? Just to make sure that everything's working the way it's supposed to. So for this, we're going to use VeeValidate. VeeValidate is a way to validate forms in Vue.js, and it's already working with the new version, as you can see here. Version 4 of VeeValidate works with Vue 3, so it's pretty much what we need. It's actually really fast. So let's actually install it. We're using npm, so let's pretty much copy this. Wait. Let's commit add error handler. It's a good practice to whenever we do some kind of function, feature, whatever, we just need to commit that. So okay, cool. So now that we have it, let's just paste it. And the way to use it is going to be not through this element, because this is through the option API. We need to go through the composition API. So if we go through the documentation, and you will look at me here, just scrolling up, we need to go to the composition API section. And pretty much to keep things simple, we use field. Use field is going to be the one that will be having the methods that we need. In other words, and we can see it in the example right here. So if I put something, we have an error. We need to validate it, need to be at least 8 characters. Or if I delete it, also say that this field is required. If we go here to the application view in this example, we can see how they did it. So they have the input with a view model, and that view model, the way that we use it right now, let me go to the form. I'm actually right here. We're using the reference from Vue, right? Well, it's not going to be the case anymore. We're going to be using the validate function, and we're going to send a specific value that will specify if we are actually valid or not to execute. So you can see here comes value and error message with the user field and the function for validation. This function, what it does is this field is required and you must contain at least 8 characters. Okay, I believe that should be enough. Let's try it. So let's import use field from VeeValidate. We're going to put that one right here. And let's focus right now on just on the login example. The login, and then we will do the one for the sign up. For the Google one, we don't need to get worried about that because Google already handled the validation in that side. So let's see. Let's import it right here. A way that I like to import is everything that came from package at the top and everything that came locally from files at the bottom. Like it's just a practice that I like to use. Right, so let's have the use field there. Let's comment it out this too. We don't need it for now. So we do this one here. Value error message from use field full name, and let's call this one email. validate field. Let's call this what else? What else? And I believe I can just use let's keep the password one. Let's try to fix it. We can actually handle the validate the email itself. So let's go to the email. It's this one. Oh wait, it's right here on the top. This one. And we're using the VeeValidate is actually name. Oh yeah, because this one the email. Perfect. Not sure if we can actually handle like that. Let's create this function. And this is the ES5. Let's actually do an arrow, a fat arrow function that will help us do that kind of validation. And probably we should extrapolate this in like another file, but let's keep it here for now. Let's do zones validate field equal, and we're taking the value. And for that we are doing something. So this is equivalent to this very much. And we can just return this. So after we have the input box for the email, where is my input box for the email, let's have a simple paragraph. Actually, it's a paragraph. And let's have here error message. How we call it? Because we're getting that. Okay, perfect. Here. Let's see if this actually works. And it doesn't. Oh yeah. Okay, let's go to login. Yeah, we're doing the email. Let's try to print that particular email too. And let's print it right here. The email is A. Yeah, it's not picking it up the way that it's supposed to, because email doesn't exist. So let's change this to value the way that we have it in the function. There you go. And you can see this field must contain at least X characters. Perfect. And when you have it, it's working. This field is required. Nice. So we are able to validate something that's pretty cool about the value. You can actually do print value.valid. So if we do something like this. Ooh, didn't work. Okay, we can see that later. Okay, so let's handle this error message a little bit better. Let's go here first in the validate field. Let's put this. Let's call it this validate email. Let's call it email is required, and let's remove this one. We don't need this validation for now. And let's send validate email. User field is going to be email. And I believe we can do something like email, probably. Let me see if we can do this. I don't remember. ES6 the structure in array. Change name. Variable renaming. Let's see that. So we can do person name, person surname. We can get the name as the surname like that. Yeah. Rename a variable while destructuring. Let's see this. Skills. Renaming variable while destructuring. We have the skills JavaScript, and we call this years. JavaScript years. Okay, so the way to change it is let's do this one and let's do as email, probably. Something like this. I don't know. I'm actually checking this. Give me a second. So actually I don't see an error anymore. Maybe? Let's see here. Value. We have a lot of value. Let's go to the input. Let's change to email. Let's change this to email. And that should be working. Let's see. There you go. It does. Email is required. Perfect. So let's handle this a little bit better. That error message. Let's do some classes here. Let's do text small. Text red 500. And let's do what else we can do here. Text left. There you go. Email is required. Should be enough, right? Now let's change this error message to error email. Let's use something like this, and let's send that right here. Where is my error message? Here. Instead of error message, it's going to be error email. So we have an email that is null. So skip it, email is required. So it's actually not importing it, or it's not getting it. Print it. So cool. So we have the validation for the password, for the email. We can do something really similar for the password. Of course, we need to validate that the email is a valid email. So, and we will see that as an example too. So let's go to the validate email function. And let's do another one called validate password. Of course, the password is required. Right, and we can remove the email right now. Let's remove the password. because we're going to pretty much repeat this. And there is other way to do it too. Let's go change this to password and password error. It's going to be password. And going to be validate password. Yeah, pretty much. So we need something like this. Oh, we need to put that error message too. So that error message gets saved right here. And let's put it after the input for the password. And it's going to be error password. Email is required. It's doing it. So why is not doing the other one? Validate password. Value as password. Yeah. Password error. Oh. Wait. Here. Password error. No error password. Okay, password is required. Perfect. So we have that custom validation here. Let's continue looking at the VeeValidate. And let's look something for the email. They should have something here. You go email error. Oh, they're using something more advanced here. Yeah, probably we can use something like job. Job is like an extra validation for schemas, but they can actually use it to, and I saw it right here. Instead of having like a function, we just validate what needs to be done, but we need to install job. So let's actually handle it. Probably going to be faster for us. So let's do npm, but VeeValidate next, and let's install job. Cool. We can get rid of this function, the error, the validation function. We don't need them anymore, and we're going to use that right here. So we use first, we need to import job, import everything as job, and of course the import is right here. And then we can actually handle, instead of calling a function, we just do something like this. So for, they have like an example for email. There you go. So for email, you need to be a string, it's required, and it should be an email. That's it. For password, let's actually have validation for the password to be a minimum of 8 characters. Let's put that one there. And that should be. Let's see this, let's refresh. This must be a valid email. Perfect. If I delete it, this is a required field. Nice. And let's actually put something at x.com. Now it's a valid email. Perfect. This must be at least 8 characters. After we put those 8 characters there, we can actually see that gets validated. Perfect. So we are able to validate that email, and this one have 2 different options. It's required, and it should be a valid email, so something like this doesn't work. But we added validation in the email part. That's pretty neat. I don't know what you think about that, but I'm really excited. I like this. What I don't like is everything is lowercase. So Let's see if tolerant just says um, uppercase. Text transform, capitalize probably. So let's go to here, the arrow. Let's look for the error. Where is it? Yeah, I don't start like it is. It looked like it get a little bit messy, right? So right here we have the error of the email. Let's add the capitalize. This would be a valid email. Well, it's a little bit better. Uppercase. This would be, oh, that's sound like it's yelling to us. So let's return it to capitalize probably. Yeah, it's not everything that I wanted, but at least it's a little bit better. So let's do the same for the password. Let's just capitalize that. Okay, cool. So now what we need to do is we should be able to block the access to the button if validation is failing. So how can we do that? Now let's go to the VeeValidate, and they call something called meta. This is what I was trying to do. So they can actually, where is it? Here. Use field function and the blur meta. Here you go. From the use field, we can actually get the meta. We say beta is dirty, pending, touched, valid. It's like give all the stuff, but the meta valid is the one that I need because that will how can I say it? It's the one that we need to verify before we proceed or not. So let's go to the use field function. Let's actually get the meta, and let's call this one email meta, and the other one let's call also the meta, and let's call this one password meta. Password, and we're missing a T here. So now we can say something like this. Let's see the login section. Where is the login function? Register login here. So before we proceed, we need to do an if statement. This if statement is going to be doing something depending on what we need, right? So everything should be that inside that if statement. And the only thing that we're actually doing here is if email meta dot valid and password meta dot valid. If not, else we need to do is error value equal true, and we can do the message, and we call it just message, but we need to come to error message dot value equal what we can do there, wrong invalid values. Let's just put something like that not to see it, right? So let's try it here. So we try to do something. Let's go to home. Let's actually refresh it. Let's go to login. Let's put whatever we needed, right? Try to login. Invalid values. So we call that, and we are not calling, as you can see here, the connection to Firebase to verify that, because we're just pretty much calling that, saying that, hey, you have invalid values. You know? So yeah, with that simple validation, we're able to actually do it. Now, let's do job. Let's do the rest now for the rest of the element. Let's do now for the sign up. So for the sign up, what I need to do, validate the email name, email, password, and probably repeat password, and both passwords need to be the same. Right? So let's actually do that. And of course, we will not able to proceed if nothing is valid, right? So let's call this job, repeat password. Let's say something really think about that. Oh, we can have the message here. Nice. Password confirmation. And we can do the reference to the password. Interesting. But it's using the schema. And we are not using any schema for now. So how we can do it? Well, let's try it. Let's see if it actually works. So for now, let's just add the custom validation to everything. And let's see. Let's go to get the error message. We have it right here. And let's put it after the name. And this will happen with the error name. It doesn't exist, that's what it's complaining. Don't worry. And we have the other tools already there. Okay. So now let's go to the calls name from reference. We need to delete that. If we delete the reference, that means that the reference from view is not used anymore. So it's a good time to clean up dependencies here. And we're going to be using something really similar to this one. Value is going to be a name error, name meta, and it's going to be name. This is required, and we don't use a minimum because we can have a short name in there. Right, error name error. Yeah. So where is the error name? This one. Let's call it name error. Let's be consistent there. So we have something like this. This is a required field. Cool. We have the validation, and this validation is still there because we have the same validation in the login form. So that's pretty neat. So now that we have the validation for the name, we just need to add that one. We need to pretty much add this if statement here and grab everything there, or else something else. Including the else, pretty much we can use the same. Yeah, let's just keep it in valid values. Probably it's not the best message on the world, but it's something, right? So we need to verify the name meta.valid and email meta valid and the other one valid. So until all of them are valid, if not, you'll give it that, right? This will allow us to proceed because we have invalid values in there. Perfect. So we already have that validation. What I want to do, and it's going to be a little bit tricky, let's handle the password. What I found here is called password confirmation. Yeah, I like it. So we have the password right here with the label. So let's pretty much get everything from the password, paste it again, and let's call this confirm password, right? Wait. Yeah, we need to confirm the password. And it's going to be password confirmation. So this one is going to be password confirmation, type password, and be more going to be password confirmation. Yeah, very much. And password confirmation error. Something really important, the if only when form equal sign up. Right? That means that confirm password is there, but if I go to login, it's not there. Cool. Now let's do password confirmation. And it's going to be, let's repeat this one. And let's call it password confirmation, password confirmation error, and password. Ooh, look at this password meta have double D. Look for password meta. Oh, that one's there. I have an issue here with password meta. Oh, yeah, I cannot use it here anymore. Password confirmation meta. This one do password confirmation. And the example that they gave us here is a job string. We have that, and one of password should be matched. So it doesn't matter that we don't put the require because the password is required. So we just put that one here. Let's see. Reference password. The other one is called password. Right. Now let's see. Let's refresh this and something's wrong. Job is not defined. Oh, because we have job in lowercase here. There you go. ABC, ABC, C, perfect. ABC, ABC, ABC. Ooh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ooh, it's not doing it. It's not doing it. If I put password here, does it work? No. Must be a string. Password.value. Maybe. No, it doesn't work either. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, password must match, but it's not doing it. So yeah, let's see. Yeah, everybody doing the confirmation schema. Hmm. Let's do VeeValidate and let's do password confirmation. Password. Cross-field validation. Okay, let's see it. Or using the more advanced techniques here. This through a rule. Okay, maybe. But yeah, it's through a schema. Yeah, probably we need to handle that a little bit different. What we can do, Let's actually check the schema, how does it work. I didn't want to go through that because it looks a little more complex, but probably in this case is what we need. So we create a form and we create a validation schema for that form. And we have that validation schema. The thing is we're using the same form, so we need to use different validation schema. So this approach will not work for us. So what else we can use? Then look for the job reference. Yeah, we use the reference, but it's a shape or it's a you ref without schema. Let's say. Let's actually look for job. JavaScript. Let's see the API. Referring to another sibling or sibling descendant fields. Validation cast time. Yeah, no. So probably for this one we don't need to use job. Let's actually create cons password confirmation. Function. Let's create a function. Let's see if it actually works. I'm going to return is password is pretty much the same. When we do one liner, we don't return password confirmation. Yeah, pretty much. Let's see. Oh, they didn't like it. Line 149. You say that I can use password confirmation function before initialization. Oh, it's complaining that this is after. Let's put it before. Okay. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. File confirmation is not valid. So let's put more things here. Let's return true, always. That means it doesn't matter. This is going to be valid, perfect. So whenever we do the validation, I want to see if I can actually also log password. Yeah, it's here. So let me do a simple password.value to define it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we validate it. Yeah, okay. We are able to get it. Cool. Now let's actually do our console log. Let's console log password confirmation too. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And when it's changed to 1, 2, 3, 4, oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, okay, we need to do it through the value section. So we just need to return its password value is exactly the same as password confirmation value. That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There you go. Now it's valid. Cool. We need to create our own function because we're not able to use job because we're not using schema. So it was a little bit more tricky, but it did the work, right? We can delete this one. We don't need it anymore. And when we have, I want to change this this one from here, and I believe we can use, let's see, VeeValidate before job. Label, no, it's not the label. Let me see the error message. Custom error message. Oh, here you go. If we don't return true, we return the message. So yeah, probably this is going to be a lot better than this one. So we need to check if these ones are pretty much the same. If they are, we just return true. If not, we just return password doesn't match. And that's it. There you go. So that means we put something here and password doesn't match. Perfect. And to finish here, we just need to make sure that when we do the registration, and what is registration? Name meta valid, email meta valid, password meta valid, and password confirmation meta dot valid. After we have all that, we were able just to log in to the page. So, and now, I cannot use my old password before. Okay, let me see here. I'll refresh this. So the account doesn't exist anymore. There was an authentication error. Okay. Sign up. My name is Rodolfo. Let's do rodolfo@fake.com. A simple password. Something match. I do sign up. And I'm in. Perfect. I do log out and now try to use that one. Perfect. I am able to log in. So with that, I believe we'll finish it. Wow, it took us like an hour to do all this. I didn't imagine to have that big video, sorry for that. But yeah, I believe we have pretty much the application done with the login example. What we introduced here is we introduced the error message on the top, something really convenient, and I believe you could use it in your projects. And something really important that we need to handle always, validation in the forms. So for now, what we just did is have that validation in the different pages, and I show you how to put a new message there, how to handle the main error page, and how to not to proceed if we have invalid values. So for now, I hope that you like it. Remember, any question, any doubt, don't hesitate to reach me. Happy coding, everybody.